Hi, welcome to my channel about embedded systems, robotics and fischertechnik. This video is focused on my robotic arm with pneumatic hand, and the last time I focused on various things, the focus this time is really on the pneumatics, because on the last two conventions the pneumatics failed, and pneumatics is both electrical as pneumatical. Electrical because there are switches here which give an electric signal to the controller, and then the controller via the computer drives the valves, and there something doesn't go right. The compression is not a problem because the compression engine right here always works, but then again, if it works, why don't the fingers go like this? Another issue with this, which I had before, is that the cables are pulled downwards, and then the wires are quite under tension. So a few things to look at, and I hope in the end to have solved this issue. So with the camera now pointed at the hand, what should I look at? Well, the electrical wiring, and this one is alright. Then the index finger, that one is alright as well. Next one, and I should point the camera like this. Then we have the middle finger, and that already goes a little bit harder. And I should not pull too hard, but like this, and that is kind of enough to have a go. Next finger, let's say the ring finger, is quite alright as well. Last finger, really tight, and that needs some attention. But in the end, they all can move, so that is not really a big problem if the pneumatics work. So let's activate the diagnostic software, then compression engine, and then see how far I can get. Because I am using now the diagnostics interface, I am using screencast with the code and the execution terminal on the background. And what I just found out is that while this is the motor for the compression engine, it doesn't respond. Anything else responding? Yes, because if I take a look at the switches here, you can see in the diagnosis interface that everything is, well, almost everything is working. Only this one is not working. So I have to check one wire, but I have to check two wires because the motor isn't working, and the motor is right there. So while I put this on speed 2, I have to see for wiring, and then it is working, so I need to check that one. I need to check this wiring. Here is really a problem. So let's take a screwdriver and see how to fix things. Let's take a look here. Why is this hesitating? This seems solid, this one as well, but let's figure it out anyway. Looks good to me. Next. Looks good to me too. So there may be another explanation. Well, it's not completely fixed, but it's working. Next is see why the wire of this finger is failing. The electrical wire, that is. And for that I have to run the whole wire. And that is something annoying because it is of course running through the entire arm. I have to check something out. And then it turns out that this wire is completely out. So I really need to strip the wire again and fix it. So now everything has been fixed, hopefully. It's time to run the diagnostics again, engage the motor, full speed, and then see if the fingers actually are being activated when I press a switch. And therefore I have to wait until the pressure has been built. Is this full speed? No, it's not full speed. This is full speed. And then no, no pressure yet. So I'll have to wait a bit. And I have only one compression chamber, and people say that it is not enough, but we'll see about that. Let's see this one. Nope. Oh yeah, another question is of course, how much time do you need to compress air enough to compress enough air to get the fingers working? I'm not quite sure. So let's build, and this should be enough, I think. I see no valves being wrong at all, unless there's a problem as well. Let me check some tubes, and I see no problems there that I can find, and unfortunately I have no way to see if there's any leakage other than fingers being responsive. And once again I feel nothing. So I should check the valves themselves. Maybe there's a problem there. So next step is to look at the valves, and I already tried with one switch to feel if the valves are activating or responding, and none of them is responding that I feel. So thump, and you should actually hear and feel one of the valves, at least one valve per switch obviously, respond, but they don't. So just like with the other switches, how do I know that it's being activated? Checking the wiring. How do you check the wiring visually? By adding an LED. So yeah, that's going to be another thing. Adding LEDs to those, so I actually know that the switches of the valves are being activated when I press a switch. So that's a nice activity. And where do I put them? Do I put them right here or anywhere else? Right, so each of these valves have to be added with an LED. LED has to be equipped with a resistor and a wire to ground. And here comes the problem. Where do I ground them? Well, I have already several wires to ground and they all end up here. And that's going to be a lot of wiring extra. So what I intend to do is take this terminal block and put a lot of wires in here, and then one wire from here to the ground in the interface. Then it saves a lot of space in there, and using yet another block to put the extra wires that come from the additional LEDs. So that's going to take quite some reconstruction and testing, of course, and see if all the wiring really works out. And that is definitely something for next time. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please do subscribe to my channel, give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment or suggestion, and please click the bell for notification. You can also support via PayPal, Ko-fi, and by becoming a patron. This is obviously going to be continued. For now, have a great day, stay safe, take care, and take a look at the website.